Hey y'all, I wanted to make a really quick video to give some context to a few things in the document that I'm sending over. I hope this helps a lot because I know we're in a unique situation with our software and stuff. So I know there's still like some learning that has to happen, even though you guys have done a lot already. Um, but what I've got in this document is first and foremost just a couple reference and links. This goes to Google Drive folder that has all of the invoices and receipts that are received into us. You can see the stuff that's out here that hasn't been filed yet. Is put in by my team, and typically when I have categorized them within QuickBooks, I'm putting them in to like the associated folder here. And sure, go away. But you'll see I've got like archives here. So like if I go into 2025, each one of them has a month in there to keep it organized. So that's what that is real quick. Go back over here. The sales tax worksheet, I was, when I was chatting with Cromwell, this is what I was alluding to because I know you guys are going to be helping with that. And if we are going to be moving away from using Printsmith for everything, which I'm again totally fine with, this is just how we've done it. And essentially, like this one, I've just switched it over obviously for 26. So that actually should say January. Um, but for reference, I just have the last month. So I have a report that's pulled that is linked in this document down here. I'll show you in a second. But that this is this is the document that I run through that has everything, and it has all the calculations. So by the time I'm down here, I'm basically entering it like 2.1. I'm entering the stuff in green. And this is like, for instance, here, this is what I paid. And this is what it's estimating it to be. This one's really off because of my closing month. So this January's sales tax was awful. So I'm expecting February to be weird. And then the mileage tracking is we do have Brittany doing deliveries and stuff like that. I've just been doing as a one-off check. So like you've got, here's her stuff for January, and then she's doing it for February now. And I basically come in here and I just do a print what's selected as a PDF and make a bill out of that. In here, I wanted to give clarity on exactly what is happening in each program. So that way you guys are aware. So basically, Printsmith, we're estimating, invoicing, and archiving of the print and mail projects. Um, Basically straightforward. You guys have already seen this. The payment logging, payments are logged in the system. We do have a payment processor, Bristol Pay. They are based out of New York. I do have an actual human customer rep that I can talk to. So if there's anything ever that comes up, I can connect. And then to provide even further clarification on what we're doing right now with web services and payments and all of that stuff is I put that in here. Long story short, if it's a recurring retainer one that goes that is a set thing, it goes every month, then there's goes on the first. We have a few on the third, the fifth, and then one on the 15th right now. They are put in a single job underneath the web and marketing. It was just basically to make it easier. We use these four to separate them out into like the chart of accounts. So when it does get put into QuickBooks, these numbers match the chart of accounts right currently in QuickBooks. So that what that is. We also log the payments that are processed through authorize.net, which is managed by Bristol Pay, in there, just like we would a print payment. For one-off services, the one difference is with this is like for a web development project, we basically enter it under the client. So like if Amish Electric was doing a website, then we would put that project underneath there instead of the other one. None of this has to stay. Sales tax, basically, again, to reiterate, I put everything in there mainly to process and calculate sales tax. I've got two reports here. Let me just pop these open in a quick tab to kind of, again, bring clarity. Printsmith does export these. If I need to do a quick like screen grab of like how I pull those, totally fine. But this is how this pulls, and basically I'm using this correlates with this sheet here, so you can see this. The postage report is another one. Is this here because postage is categorized differently with sales tax. So that's what that is. And then that's that sales tax worksheet. But that's that. Thank you for bearing with me. That's the sales tax tracking. Okay, so that's PrintSmith. Zoho billing. Essentially, we are just using it to do the automatic payments for service client, the recurring retainer clients. I really don't bill too much in there. I might have done one or two things last year. I haven't done anything yet this year through there. But it's mainly just to keep those automatic payments because we have forgotten we didn't used to, and I don't want to do that again. The other thing I do is I do track. So, like for instance, a little excerpt from one of the reports I pull from Zoho Billing that shows like all of these people have paid. There's one that's overdue. So I use basically the totals that are from this report to help make sure I have the right amount put into PrintSmith. So that's what that is. Payments since everything are done through authorize.net, which is basically a merchant account set up by Bristol Pay. Okay, that's that. QuickBooks, I just put some things here. Long story short, I have no idea what's going on. I am not like an accountant. I have never fully understood what's going on in QuickBooks. I would love to really just know. And to understand why it is the way it is, or just at least understand the basics so I can feel competent. So biggest thing though, and I know when Cromwell and I spoke, it was kind of just a more generalized thing. But I do want to definitely take a look at the chart of accounts. It is way over detailed. I don't think it needs to be. So if we can, I don't know if it's within scope to meet and chat about the chart of accounts to help simplify them, get recommendations. That would be wonderful. One thing in here I mentioned is like we thought about moving the wages from like down, I believe it's an overhead, but putting it up underneath the cost of goods for like print and web because they're so closely tied to it. So that was that. And then I thought of this right after the onboarding call, but currently we do have an integration with QuickBooks Online and PrintSmith that does the automatic closeout report and pushes them into QuickBooks as a journal entry. I know that isn't really working, and because of that, I've had it turned off for months now. So that's why it's been manual. I say that though there is a potential solution, and I'm really curious what your guys' thoughts are on it. Sorry, I had to sneeze. But they do have a upgraded QuickBooks integration that basically integrates into being more of all the billing goes through QuickBooks, which I think is what you guys want to do. And I'm sorry if I'm being very blonde about this. But I want to send you this document. I'll include it. But basically, it'll be starting at page 16. And I know this is somewhat technical for setting up on PrintSmith. I wouldn't have you guys do that. But just so I'd like you to guys kind of just go through this, mainly looking at from a QuickBooks user end, if this is a better way to go. I feel like based on our conversations that this is where you guys want to go. And I'm totally down for it. And I can get a quote for it because we're already locked into a 4-year deal with the lower level. So if I have to go higher and this saves so much hassle, then I'm down for it. So yeah, take a look at that. And then I did want to also provide clarity on some additional service providers that we have because I know they were kind of asked about it. Payroll processing is Payroll City. They're in Colorado Springs where we are. It was one of those things, it was referred to us because our CPA used to do payroll as a white label. I don't know. This is before me. I've inherited this. The Payroll City, I don't really have any issue. They're working. They ain't broke. I won't fix it. On the clock.com is what we use for time card and PTO tracking. Annual taxes, we're currently using Mark Peniston. I've done the engagement letter with him already for this year, so he'll be doing that this year. I don't think I need anything, so it should be rolling. And then payment processing is handled by Bristol Pay. They're out of New York. They're wonderful. They basically process everything. We're in a little bit of a sweetheart with them with being 2% flat rate on everything. So we don't want to move too far away from them. And I'm thinking if we move over into pushing everything through QuickBooks, I know they can use authorize.net through there. So maybe we can still use that so we can get that decent fee right there. And then because for further clarity, I wanted to show you guys, I do have a cash flow tracking program. It's calendarbudget.com. It's nothing fancy. The bank account doesn't even link into it because my local bank sucks. So I'm manually entering everything, but it does help see where, okay, we're pulling in, money and everything like that, and where everything is. So I'm able to see, are we able to make this bill? When are these bills coming up? I have reoccurring things in there and stuff. So that's why I'm currently managing cash flow. If that can be done in QuickBooks, cool. If not, this lives here. I don't mind it. This is a me thing, all good. And then I just reiterated this here, which I know Cromwell and I already kind of went over, but one thing I did, I was like basically streamline the chart of accounts, gaining clarity. I'd really like to, and I apologize that I forgot to ask this, but I wasn't sure if you guys are able to help with creating a budget. I have my business consultant and I where we've kind of created a budget, but in reality, I don't know if that, based on kind of like what's in the system, is that realistic? Yeah, it's just out of realm of my knowledge. And then just kind of coming up with that new SOP for how to do crap. So hopefully this wasn't too much of a fire hose to the brain of information, but I did want to share it and give context. So I'll go ahead and send this with all of the different things. You guys should have access under the support email to all of these, but feel free to request access. I'll keep an eye on my inbox to get them to the individual emails if need be. Thank you, and we'll chat soon.